I'll do a quick rundown. You kind of did yourself with what our keys to each game is. The game in Ghana, I think, the biggest issue I think is going to be kind of talk to almost to so much, but I think beyond it's been talked about with what our back four is going to be, and obviously it's going to be important. I think Ghana's kind of a counter-attack team that they use a lot of their pace, and they change quickly from defense to offense. So making sure that we're disciplined and our team shape is really important, as well as making sure there's no bad turnovers. We had a couple of them against Azerbaijan, I believe, and then there was one where I think Besler, I hate when guys nonchalant, especially on defense, he just nonchalant outside of the foot of to the middle of the field and went right to an Azerbaijan player at the top of the box and shot, and thankfully, I don't think it wasn't that big of a threat because Howard's back there and the Azerbaijan guy, no offense to him, probably didn't score from there, but if that's a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Mueller or any of those kind of guys, those guys are big time, and they might turn that into a goal off a simple turnover. And then I believe it was Fabian Johnson, 21. Is that Fabian Johnson or Timmy Chandler? It's one of the players who gave up that turnover that ended up causing the handball penalty kick against Turkey. Just nonchalant, playing around with the ball in his own third. I mean, it's just dumb turnovers are really a big key. I mean, we got two big, strong, athletic guys, probably two of the more athletic guys in the whole World Cup, Dembski and Altidore. So if I'm on defense while I'm the USA, I'm hitting it up, I'm launching it up there, and if I'm in doubt at all, it's where the ball's going, and I'm trying to just let one of those guys go get it. I think the other big thing, I really think the offense is a lot better this year than it was our last World Cup. I think we have a lot more dynamic players. I think the diamond formation is going to be our best friend and our worst enemy at times. And like I said, with team shape, can Jermaine Jones be disciplined, and can Bradley really thrive in that role, kind of supplying forward. He definitely had a world-class pass to Fabian Johnson. So with that said, I think the biggest thing is controlling the counterattack, especially against Ghana and Portugal, and then just cutting down on turnovers. And then the U.S. if we can get a goal off a corner kick or a free kick or maybe something like that, we're going to have to execute on those. It definitely seems like that's been the success in these warm-up games. So those are what I'm thinking is we got a plan.
Yeah, I agree with that. The defense for us, as I've seen, I mean, it's not, I don't want to say hit or miss. It does have its moments where it kind of, like you said, just kind of really gets almost too relaxed and makes something bad happen. One of the greater accomplishments that I think needs to be noted is the fact that Besler and Gonzalez, Gonzalez out of the Galaxy, Besler from Sporting Kansas City, now named the captain, by the way, for this year, so I think there's a lot of confidence with him. Those guys just kind of were thrown together really in the qualifying to start, to play the two center backs, but they've managed to do a fantastic job, really, and really start to work well to play together with each other. I think those two, the fact that, for not playing together until just thrown into it in the Hex, maybe a few other qualifying games before that, they've done really well. I think both of them, I think are really good defenders, and I think they have a lot of potential to play, not just in this World Cup, but World Cups to come. I do agree with you. Sometimes they have their moments where they like you said, they kind of get too relaxed or they miss something. The problem is when a goal scored, with the defense being the last line mistake, your last line defense, you make a mistake and it very well can result in the goal, and then everyone looks at that. But you talked about Beasley there. I know Gonzalez, when we had that friendly against Mexico, we're up 2-0. Gonzalez just totally missed his mark on a man, and I mean, I forget who it was that scored, but he was wide open. Free header for him. I think Ian Dark said on the broadcast, you could drive a truck through there. Things like that could really hurt us, especially with, there is no doubt in my mind if Claus has got a free header, he's putting in the back of the net.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with Ghana and Portugal. Even, that's the one thing that would really upset me, in a sense, is the fact that if we somehow shut down Ronaldo that game, or he's not playing well, but we lose the game because we had a moment where we just did not, we just got too relaxed or something and did not play to our potential, and then someone else got a free header and put it in the back of the net. We lost because someone else, not even Ronaldo. Like, no, Ronaldo doesn't even score a goal, but we still lost the match because Morales or someone just outdid us in one moment, which is usually how soccer works, obviously. But that's obviously the situation there. The good news is, though, we got Tim Howard in goal, and especially in that Ukraine game when the defense was just basically hanging him out to dry. He still made a save on the first and second attempt. So that is the good news, is that Tim Howard can play out of his mind and get some big time saves, and that would be the hope, that if we have that moment where we screw up, Howard can possibly save us. But yeah, it's a tough group, but I'm excited for the challenge. In a World Cup, it's not like you're gonna get all of the Canada's and Trinidad and Tobago's and everyone that you beat in the early rounds of qualifying. That's not what the World Cup is. The World Cup is playing against Germany, Portugal, Ghana. It's exciting that we get a chance to see how we measure up against the second and third ranked team in the world. So I'm excited for this challenge. Regardless if we go home early, if we surprise some people and get out of the group, I'm excited.
I think, and then definitely just to get redemption too. These are three teams and countries that we've had within the last, I think, 3 World Cups. We've had a run-in with good, a little good, and mostly bad. So hopefully revenge. I'm going to get to my predictions. I just think Germany's too deep and too experienced. From all their players playing in big-time games. It's just the whole team is so deep, and they've been there before, and it seems like they get it done. And I think it's going to be one of those situations where the USA is going to get out second. I think we're going to get like 4 points or 5 points. I think it's going to be one of those things where it might be goal difference. I really don't think we're going to show out. Like I said earlier, our offense is better, but I think our defense seems like it's a little shakier. So I think my prediction, I don't think we're going to hold anybody scoreless in this group. I think we're going to have to win 2-1 or 3-2 or win our tie 2-2. So I think there'll be a lot of goals in this group, and I think the USA gets out second.
All right, I like that. It's tough for me to say because, like I said, it's very tough for me to decide between Portugal and USA. I would love the USA to get out, and especially go and win this. But just the thing is too is this is a fairly young squad. I mean, obviously we have Dempsey and Altidore and Bradley and Howard, but a lot of those other guys that are on that roster are fairly young, playing in their first World Cup, so that's kind of an interesting thing too to see. For the moment, I'm a
new dynamic though.
It is. I mean, it's a new dynamic. The
guys you mentioned, like Wondolowski and even Zuski and Davis and Besler and Cruz. Granted, the Premier League, the Premier League. These guys are late 20s, early 30s, some of them, and it's the first World Cup. They do have experience, so we'll see how that most translates.
That's true. You know what? I believe I said I had Germany and Portugal earlier, but you know what? You've kind of convinced me about those young guns. Maybe those guys will step up or really showcase something. I'll go Germany win the group, and I'll go the USA getting second. With actually some help from Ghana. I still don't think I could see the USA necessarily beating Germany. I think that's going to be a huge task. But with the way you can have things set up beforehand, if Ghana can draw Portugal or beat them, the USA, with a draw against Portugal in the first place and a win against Ghana, that would be enough to send the USA through on 4 points.
That's very, very possible.
All right, well, that might be a bit of a homer pick. We'll take Germany and the USA. Let's talk about Group H in just a moment.